angle of argument. That's morality. Then my point to you is, whose morality are we defending? My great-grandparents, and I believe your great-grandparents, 5-6 generations ago, did not get stuck with one woman. The idea of one man, one woman was given to us by the Westerners. It's an economic issue. Then let me give you the scientific part. That's why I'm here. That's why I run the only men's clinic in Nigeria. We're the most populous black nation on earth. We have undue number of black men dying prematurely because of prostate complications. So Harvard women, not men, Harvard women did the research and look at what are the things we can do. You can give me the excuse of diet, you can give me the excuse of exercise. They have not been shown to significantly reduce prostate enlargement. You as a female, you are run by estrogen. I'm run by testosterone. My testosterone gets converted to what is called DHT. That DHT is the only source of food for my prostate. The only exercise my prostate gets is erection. So you're telling me that if you and I have been married and you approach menopause, which by the way, you want it to be so short, because the longer your menopausal age ranges, your risk of breast cancer goes up. But for me, I don't have any other alternative than to ejaculate. So the study came out that if men ejaculate 4 to 7 times a month, they have 30% increased risk of prostate problem. But if they get up to 18 to 21, their prostate risk disappears. And so now tell me, what will you do? What if I'm your brother? What if I'm just your son?
Okay.
What would be your argument?
So when I hear that, I get you.
Yes.
And then I now look at people like Waike. Waike is over 60 and she's very active.
Yes.
And that's very unusual for the average Nigerian.
I don't know if she's in the bedroom with me.
So because what we are aspiring to do, because we are in our 40s, 30s, and we're saying we want to be in our 60s and be like a Waike. We want to be active. We want to be active at 70. So because we've been told that, oh, once you're like 50, women start slowing down. We don't want it. And we're saying we're defining all that these days because 60 is a new 40. So we're saying that things are different. So why would you confine us to say, oh, because you're slowing down, now demand an excuse to go and look for the outside? We're saying, no, we are very capable for sustaining this until 70.
Bravo. I like that. If you can give 21 times to your man, please, I'm on your team. Honestly, if you cannot do it, I advocate and I believe medically that the man should outsource it. Now you can argue about my alternative, my options. The study researchers gave 3 options. One is pornography. I know you wouldn't want your spouse to be doing that. And medically, the second one is masturbation. It leads to addiction. The third one is option of polygamy. So it gets under the moral issue again. If you are not comfortable with it, but you can do up to 21 times, I'm on your team. Honestly.
You are qualifying. I love the idea of qualifying. That the qualifying of the fact that, okay, if your partner is able to satisfy you, not just satisfy you, ensure that you are healthy, because this is no longer just about your satisfaction. It's about the fact that you need this number to be able to be healthy and prevent you having complications from prostate.
Absolutely.
It is that men are now using your video as license because your video did not qualify the fact that they can have this 21 times with a woman.
But he's saying
is there any scientific...
but he's saying that even with your wife, that you have relaxed.
No, I don't want to go there now. Is there any scientific proof that women cannot meet up with the 21 times per month facility?
Good. So let's face reality. So when a young girl starts a menstrual...
We're not doing reality, we're doing scientific.
It's based in science. When a young girl starts a menstrual period, it's driven by estrogen. Your goal, and as a father, your goal as a woman is you want that exposure to estrogen to be short. Start your menses later. So because if girls start menses around 10, 11, they have a higher risk of breast cancer the longer they get exposed to estrogen. So you want the menopause to come quicker. When that happens, what goes on? Women are devoid of estrogen. Your vagina gets dried up. Your sexual urge decreases. And again, the issue I mentioned on the video is about pheromones. You are no longer as attractive to your husband as you used to be. And so when men come to my clinic, they complain about, look, when I'm with my wife of 25, 30 years, my body doesn't get turned on. It becomes a medical issue. But when I go to my side chick, my body gets turned on. You give me an alternate answer to that, and I'll let the men know.
Okay, so I don't want to like it's only me and you.
No, we're enjoying you.
Because it's like when doctors, we talk about this thing that when doctors are, when you go and meet a doctor and you tell the doctor you have your sugar level issue, instead of telling you to stop taking soda, they will give you a pill. So we're not really treating the issue. The issue is not lack of attraction. The issue is lack of attraction. There's lack of attraction. So it should be go for therapy, get into each other, get more funky with one another, get the fire burning again. Not go and cheat. Because the issue is not a lack of ability, it's a lack of interest. But rather than solving, don't take soda drink, doctors like you will just prescribe pills, which does not solve the problem and might lead to further complications.
So I'm not just a clinician, I'm a researcher. I'm not going to give you a superficial answer and say, look, let's go to therapy. Therapy has not been shown to do jack. Let's look at what is causing the problem. The problem is hormonal. I am driven by testosterone. Unless you can give me an alternate to my hormonal response, going to therapy will just be a temporary fix. So when they discover pheromones, they talked about issues like, okay, maybe you guys should go on vacation, separate. They come back to find out that will just be a temporary fix. A man needs to get at least 21 times to save the issue of prostate problem. You are not going to be living with a Foley catheter where you will not be able to perform socially. You are not going to be doing that. So let's address what is the underlying thing. There is a good reason God gave men testosterone until they go to their grave. Why do women have biological clock? Okay. My point to you, just like pheromones and the researchers have said, women have that short period. So yes, like my sister that could be still sexually active, we want that because there are other benefits. When a woman is engaged sexually active and she releases more oxytocin, our chances of breast cancer decreases. Yeah. So it goes both ways for men and women.
You may want to jump in here.
Okay, well, let me just say my own example to talk about, because my grandfather lived so long and he never stayed with one woman. He had 4 wives, and he had younger wives, he had older wives. He had first 2 wives that were closer to his age, and before they passed, he had married my grandmother. By the time my grandfather died at 106, my grandmother was about 50-something. So something just to prove that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
you know that this actually.
Yeah.
But my dad was a one-man, one-woman. And you can see the example, the difference. My uncle that is alive now has 4 wives. He's doing very well. Never been sick. He's doing very well. That's in prostrate.
Okay, so point taken. I mean, I like the fact that we have you in the house. And the reason why, aside from just helping us clarify on that video, it's also to learn a bit about the men. Because sometimes a lot of women, we get messages from women who are young, and after 2 or 3 children, they're in their mid-30s. Their husbands are not sexually active to them. And they're thinking they're still young, there's nothing wrong, and they feel that there's something going on. So when a woman like that is frustrated and the man comes to you, what kind of advice would you give the man? Would you say therapy, or would you advise him to go look elsewhere?
So the first thing we do at the men's clinic is we look at the biological. So we do the blood work. Because what you are bringing up is a serious issue. I'm seeing it more now. I mean, I have men in their 20s who have not been able to get a woman pregnant.
Okay.
Honestly. And when we look at it, when they went back and look at the study, they actually now extrapolating, opening it up that the earlier you start having sex, the better for the man.
You're kidding me.
I'm being honest with you. This is all scientific. So let's separate the fact that we live in a conservative and hypocritical society. So I see younger women, as a matter of fact, without disclosure, a younger couple are about to get married, and the 26-year-old girl told the guy, go and fix your ED. If not, don't come to my father. I love that. I gave her free consultation. Because you know what? She is saving up problem that will occur 5-10 years from now, when the man is not going to be able to get it up. And the man is not able to get it up because he has not been able to convert his testosterone to DHT to use.
But let me add, I want to add
hydroxytestosterone.
I want to
it gets
add,
converted from testosterone.
I want to add a small addendum to that question. I'll come to you, Nima. We're Christians.
Yes.
And we've been raised to be virgins.
Yes.
We've been raised to abstain.
Yes.
And we tell our sons and our daughters, and some of them to hold themselves. Some don't get married to maybe they're 29 or they're 30. Now, are you saying I'm putting my son at risk if I don't allow him to be sexually active early? Is that what you're telling me here now?
Yes, so my question is in line.
Yes.
Because as much as I understand what you're saying,
the
line of morality and religion is huge, and it's not hypocritical.
Okay.
Because we don't want to deal with, this that you preach, as scientific as it sounds, brings problems of requirement of DNA in future because of certain things.
Yes.
So how do we balance it morally?
Yes.
And how do we do it, so that, society can still function well?
No, excellent question, ladies. So one other angle I want to give to that is I get young women or young couple coming in and they're having difficulty conceiving. And the girl is fasting. There's no way she's going to conceive.
She's fasting.
She's fasting. And this is what churches and mosques preach. And she's fasting. So you tell me I want to bulk it? Yes, I'm going to bulk it. So I call the churches and I tell them, look, if you want to get pregnant, you're expecting the gift of God, do not fast. Why you and your husband are trying to get pregnant? Why? When a girl goes on fasting, she loses her LH and FSH. That is biological. It's not Dr. Abbas saying that. When you lose your LH and FSH...
Break this thing down for me.
Honestly.
When a woman is fasting,
she loses her LH, which is luteinizing hormone, and her FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. That is the one that will tell your ovaries that, look, hey, let this thing flow, so the man's sperm will be available. The churches will tell you to fast. And so when you're fasting and the guy is not scoring, what is happening? You are going against science. There's a reason God gave us the knowledge of science.
Let me go to break. Let me go to break. We'll come back, we'll continue this matter. Stay with us to break.